In this painting tutorial, we will learn how to create an expressive painting full of color and emotion, inspired by the Fauvist art style. The Fauves, or wild beasts as they were known, were a group of French artists in the early 1900s who broke with conventional realistic paintings in favor of strong and intense colors. For this painting tutorial, I'm going to use a portrait of my friend Tom. This is not going to be a highly realistic painting of what he looks like. The Fauves, again, were not interested in realism, but rather on the emotional qualities of color. First, I begin with a loose drawing capturing the big shapes that I see, moving fairly quickly through the step as I establish the structure of the painting. After the preliminary sketching, the drawing goes through a refining phase where multiple loose lines are reduced to fewer darker ones. Next, the pencil marks are painted over with blue paint. I will be using only pure colors from this point on, and will try not to blend or dull them down. This is what the finished underdrawing looks like. Now it's time for the painting to begin. First, I apply a thinned out layer of paint to stain the canvas. This is called the imprimatura, Italian for first paint layer. Its purpose is to tone the canvas with a uniform color and remove all the white areas. Instead of regular canvas, I'm working on a flat canvas paper here, and the purpose of the yellow tape is to give a nice clean edge once it is removed later on. You could, of course, develop the underdrawing much more than I did here, and plan your colors more carefully ahead of time. But that is not how I'm approaching this painting. Rather, I choose a color and apply it loosely and liberally as a shape, and then move on to another spot. My general approach is to use warm colors like yellow, orange, and pink on the bright side of the face, while reserving cool colors such as blue, green, and purple on the shadow side. And now for the most important lesson of this video. During this initial phase of painting, I actually do not know what the final painting will look like. While this may come as a shock, it is in fact normal practice in painting. Too often, you come across videos of artists who have tight control of their paintings from beginning to end, making it seem like they never make a mistake or change their mind along the way. For me, on the other hand, painting is not a linear process, or even easy. Rather, I have found that painting is more like a journey, full of unexpected challenges and discoveries. Can you relate? Not only have I come to expect this now, but I've actually come to embrace it, preferring this more dynamic and unpredictable journey. One where you have a general idea of where you are heading, but you don't exactly know the destination or how long it will take to get you there. To navigate this new terrain, you must pay attention to your immediate surroundings, adjusting your steps as you go, and problem solving along the way, relying on your experience and your intuition. If you approach painting like this, instead of a sequence of predictable and repeatable steps, you open yourself up to new experiences and new discoveries. It is true that going off path like this can seem scary and could lead to frequent failures, but this, I believe, is a more authentic experience and one that readily imitates life. When you paint, don't worry about the destination or rush to get done. Instead, learn to enjoy the journey and be okay that along the way you will fail and make mistakes. This is a natural part of your growth and learning, so when it happens, don't be surprised or scared. The important thing is to get up and keep going no matter what you encounter or however difficult things get along the way. There is the potential that I'm not going to like the painting once it is finished. But one thing is for certain. The painting always looks terrible through this first phase of color application. Often, during this phase, we get frustrated, expecting perfection right off the bat, and when we don't instantly achieve it, we may even be tempted to quit altogether and start all over again. This is only natural, so don't give up. Look at what a mess I have in my hands at the end of layer 1. Does this look close to anything good or finished? Of course not. But the painting will only improve with subsequent layers. You know, it doesn't really matter what that first coat of paint is anyway. The importance of it is just to lay your foundation. Time for a short break. Back to the painting. As I apply the second and third coats, I scrutinize the colors more carefully. When applying color to the canvas, it's not so important which colors you choose, but focus rather on the value of each color. Here, for instance, is a color wheel which has been turned to black and white. Do you notice how different colors look on a grayscale? Yellows and oranges look lighter in comparison to red and blue. Since color is such a dominant element, it is difficult for a beginner to notice the value that each color has. But don't worry, with practice, this too will become easier to see and apply. The Fauves also used complementary colors in their paintings. Complementary means opposite colors on the color wheel. Here is the color wheel again. If you're using orange, for instance, you must balance that out with blues. Complementary colors, like yellow and purple, or red and green, really enhance one another because they're so different from each other, and as we know, opposites attract. Whatever colors you choose, make sure you repeat them throughout the composition. The Fauves again were more interested in the new reality of their painting and strived for balanced compositions rather than accurate color rendition. At this point, I stopped recording my time-lapse videos and instead took still images every 10 minutes or so. You can see that as the painting progresses through this detail layer, it changes a lot, though I'm not doing much to it. This is where the development of those previous layers really pays off. The big decisions have been made, and only minor changes are made from this point on. And now it's time to peel the tape and enjoy the fruit of your labor. I could have kept refining and blending colors, but I purposely stopped myself from going any further, as I like the loose and painterly quality of this painting. Here again is a quick overview of the various stages of the painting. With each new layer of paint, the work progresses like a lump of clay slowly turning into a beautiful vase. I hope you enjoyed this video. Thank you for watching, and see you again soon.